Like everything else, every year, particularly this year, it is very much a team effort, and it's the coming together of many different craftsmen and areas of craft throughout our region. The IATSE Union of Stage Workers, Crews, Lighting, Sound, of course, the incredible artistry that we bring in. It's always a large community effort. In this case, everyone had to pivot and direct their creativity and their wisdom and their craftsmanship at a completely different environment. You know, most festivals around the world, almost all, canceled this year or postponed till next year. And I wasn't boastful at all that we were the only one that survived. It was because we don't rely on tickets, we rely on sponsors and donors, and secondly, we have this robust investment in streaming and video technology already, and that put us in a good position to do it. But I have to really commend the incredible work of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation team and all of its all of the vendors that we employ in all the various different craft areas to pull it together, and of course, along with broadcast professionals in production and direction and so on. These were essential. In fact, it was somewhat reflected musically. The opening set of the festival was a piece I called Justice. And originally I was going to just compose it, all four movements of this piece. It was inspired by the words of the great John Lewis, but I decided as we moved forward in the name of community effort and the beauty that can present and the different perspectives that can bring, I ended up doing each movement with a different Detroit ensemble and a different composer. And so in the end, you had all these different perspectives on the subject of justice, a very important subject this year. And it really launched the festival with the sense of exactly what you're talking about. We're all coming together to create a whole. And in fact, the feeling amongst the artists, which you're always tentative when you go from live to streaming or to broadcast, you know, this maintaining the feeling of important performances and on stage, how do you use sound and lighting to create an environment for the artists that really feels special as a performance should. And we tended to all those issues. And I can tell you that the artists who all stayed at the Marriott and the Renaissance, so we created our own jazz bubble there of 400 and some people. It was a feeling of spiritual unity, of community and cultural unity, whether the artists were from Detroit or not. We all came together with a sense that we were doing something for the greater good. We were bringing arts, culture, and jazz, a very important part of the Detroit scene, into our community in a time where it was very much needed and appreciated, at a time when much of that had disappeared from the landscape. And in fact, the day I announced the lineup and we were moving forward with the Detroit Jazz Festival 2020, presented by Rocket Mortgage, by the way, I got a lot of feedback. It was on the same day as the governor proposed the lockdown, and a lot of the media came back and wanted to know why I would propose moving forward with such a huge event. And my answer was simple. My answer was hope. We all need hope. We all need, especially in the entertainment industry right now, an opportunity to look forward to potential employment, which is a lot of people when it comes to the Detroit Jazz Fest Foundation. So I said, even if we canceled the day before the festival, a lot of people would go to work for the year and we would still find a way to get things done. In this case, things worked out extremely well, and the feeling amongst the workers, the artists, the hotel, everyone was something very, very special. And I think that is something we're all seeking. And I encourage everyone, be creative with what you're doing now and look to the barriers that this situation presents as barriers to be overcome. And in many cases, and in our case as well, we see that the barriers and the methods, the tools we use to overcome them will be things that we will employ in the future in new ways to expand into digital domains, to reach the broader audience of the world beyond those that just make it to Detroit during the Detroit Jazz Festival. And it presents a whole new beautiful perspective on who we are and how we relate to our community and to the global community as a whole.